welcome to
Okay.
UpTilt, your weekly source of excuses.
Halloween.
It's not even close to Halloween yet. Honestly, by the
What do
time
you
this
mean not
episode
even
goes
close
up,
to
it'll
Halloween?
probably be closer to Christmas.
So
No,
recently, I have been getting into PC emulation just to like relive my childhood,
literally
especially
PC
after
emulation.
especially after the last couple chats we've had about like the cartoons that made us
Yeah, it's
who we
an
are.
easy rabbit hole to fall down.
Well, yeah, I mean, the media we consume with our generation, at least, I don't know if it's true for all generations, but with our generation, the media we consume had more of a hand in raising us than most of our parents did. Because it was just like, it's like you can watch Courage the Cowardly Dog or you can get hit. So I watched Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, I feel like we were the last generation before like screen time became more like
Screen
controversial.
time and gentle parenting. God, I wish I was gentle parented. People want to give all the gentle parents flack, but man,
I dude, you know what? I'm professionally trained in gentle parenting. Not as a
yeah,
parent, but as a teacher. That was like a big thing that we practiced at my
I
last
guess it would be
workplace.
considered gentle caretaking.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. Before I started working in a school, I was already using gentle parenting as a server at a restaurant.
Yeah, I do that a lot at work
I
too.
hear that
When
you're
I have
upset that we are all out of mac and cheese for your side, but we have a lot of other sides that you can choose from right now. Take a big breath, relax.
take a breath, let's calm down, and we'll revisit the situation when you can handle it.
Do you want 1 minute or 2 minutes? 2 minutes? Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes to check up on you. It wasn't that heavy handed, but oh my God.
It feels to me, because I also work with the youth, not obviously like you do, but I regularly work with the youth and I regularly work with the elderly, and I have to gentle parent the elderly way more than I have to gentle parent children.
Yeah. That's because the children have already been gentle parented.
We like to keep what we do for a living as ambiguous as we can. I help mostly old people with my profession.
Mostly.
Well, when I help kids, they're like, "This is insane. This is not real." Whereas when I help
Yeah.
old people, they're like, "I know exactly what I'm expecting, and you have to live up to my expectations. And if you don't, I'm going to freak out."
Follow my rules, even though this isn't my house or my workplace, or
I
I
just
will
recently
yell at
had
you.
I just recently had someone like freak out to the point one of my coworkers started crying, and I'm like, "What's the point, man? I don't get it.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense.
It's not that deep."
So, anyways, PC emulation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I finally figured out PCEM, which is just PC emulation, and I got Windows 2000 Professional, which I
Mhm.
guess is made for more like cubicle work, like data entry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it also is really streamlined, and for some reason has
Okay.
really good DirectX support.
Mhm.
So it's running pretty great. You saw it last night.
I did. I got a sneak peek.
I played some games, but you know what? I'm probably going to do a stream where I revisit these games.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I said sneak peek because most likely they will be
Yeah,
streamed at some point to
I
this
actually
channel.
don't know. I'm thinking about, and I don't know how other people feel about this, but I'm thinking about like playing through like this Rugrats point and click mystery game
I think you should.
as on stream, but also like with the idea of making it like a bonus YouTube video.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just play through it. Mine, which is why I brought up the Pugweenie videos also.
Shout out Pugweenie, love you.
Real quick, I want to say just the way that I said the Pugweenie videos sounded like like their inflammatory videos. Like, have you seen the Pugweenie videos?
Hey, Pugweenie videos.
Do you know what he's up to? He's out here talking about artwork
Valve.
on yeah.
Eggs.
No, I was gonna say like do the playthrough of it, and then like I don't know if that style of video interests you, where like you do commentary overlay on top of the gameplay, like, oh yeah, this game came out in this year, blah blah, and like
I
this
can
is
do that. I don't know. That's something. That's like a private conversation to have.
yeah. I don't want to clog up the
Publicly right
works
now,
here.
we're talking about video games we played as kids that that really helped us, get through the hard times. I don't know how
Yeah,
hard it was being a kid for you, but it was very hard to be a kid for me. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that relate to that. Everyone thinks that their childhood was hard. I've never met someone who was like, I had an easy childhood.
yeah. Real quick on the topic of be, being a kid. What place had the slogan "Where a kid can be a kid"? Was it Chuck E. Cheese?
Where a kid could be a kid. Was it Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, we gotta look that up.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Where kids can be kid. No, is it where a kid can be a kid?
That's what I know. That's what I remember. But it could be a Mandela thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Anyways,
God, imagine being
games.
Nelson Mandela and be like, wow, so many people thought that I died that they believe in separate universes.
I never thought of it that way. It probably like the concept probably existed prior to that happening, and it was just like that was the thing that finally everybody, or a lot of people at least, started to believe that they named it after him. Kind of like the Bader
Right.
Meinhof syndrome. It's like the frequency, or just like the frequency theory or whatever. But it's like after you hear of something for the first time, you start to see it all over the place.
Yeah, actually, watch John Dies at the End. There's a really good clip that's not PG-13 that I would love to quote for you all. But it would just be a minute straight of dolphin sound effects.
How did you feel about that, by the way? In our most recent episode, I censored out some bad words because the rest of the joke surrounding it was too good that I didn't want to cut the whole thing.
I
And I
think we
censored
should
it with the
continue.
dolphin.
We should continue to censor it.
Oh,
I
absolutely. Yeah.
2 weeks ago there was something that I had said that 100% needs a long dolphin effect over it. If you want the real, true, raw experience, watch us live on twitch.tv. If you're listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, it's going to be censored, so babies can watch us.
So babies can watch.
I'm just like the dancing strawberry.
The dancing strawberry?
You never saw those kids videos where it's like music playing with like the dancing like fruit?
It's not hard to imagine.
For some reason,
I
like
was
I
a
know the
preschool
music.
teacher.
The music is like a kid's music thing, but in my head, I'm like singing Kesha.
Uh-huh. Just Kesha?
Yeah, Kesha specifically.
Okay.
Trevor, what was your favorite game when you were 10?
When I was 10? I mean, do you
No,
want...
you know what? 10
I
is the age where you're like
was playing
trying
Pokemon
to. Yeah, 10 is
heavy-handedly.
the age when you're trying to like act more mature. I'm thinking like 7. When 7 is when you don't really care about growing up, but you're going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would probably say at that point in time, because let's see, when I was 7, I probably had just gotten my first GameCube. My first and only. I didn't get multiple.
No, there's no way.
When was the GameCube released?
2001. Yeah, you were 7.
Mm-hmm.
6. You were born in 96.
5. We don't need to
You were
talk
born in.
about that now, though.
Oh, I was also. Oh yeah, I'm literally like 4 months older than you.
Yeah. 6, it's fine.
God, will you relax? You're so hung up on details. September
Um,
14th, 2001. I'm gonna throw up.
good.
I remember getting a GameCube. I don't remember it being 23 years ago.
I also remember getting a GameCube. I'm trying to think because I had a very extensive PlayStation 2 game library. I didn't have like any fancy place to store them. I just had a little shelf underneath my like 8-inch TV monitor I had in my screen. Um,
Oddly enough, my mom has a VHS collection.
uh-huh.
Well, like she is like super into it, and she's got like rows upon rows of like VHSs and DVDs and a movie collection.
Mm,
We have at her house, I know that she has like a shelf for like the PS2 collection. But when we were collecting PS2 games, she gave us like a disc container. You know, like a disc
yeah.
binder.
So is it just a bunch of cases without the games in it?
Yeah, the whole binder is like full of games, and we had so many PlayStation 2 games. But we played like four of them. Be real. I played Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2. My sisters were really big into Big Mother Truckers.
Yeah.
Like both of my sisters really loved those for some reason. As far as I can remember, I'm sure one day they will see this episode and they'll be like, but from what I remember, that's all y'all wanted to play. Because
Um,
they showed me like this Barbie demo on one of those like underground discs.
mhm.
And like there was like this Barbie adventure game that was basically Tomb Raider. And I was super into it. And they were like, they could not care less.
Yeah. Um, out of my giant PS2 collection, I would
Giant.
for the time, it's uh minuscule compared to my Steam backlog of games that I'll probably never touch in my entire life. Um, no, I probably had like 30 or 40 PS2 games, and probably like 10 to 15 of them were Dragon Ball games.
Yeah, Budokai 2, Budokai 3, Budokai
Budokai
Tenkaichi,
Tenkaichi,
Budokai
Budokai
Tenkaichi
Tenkaichi
2,
2,
Budokai
and
Tenkaichi
3.
3.
Yes. Super Dragon
Budokai
Ball
Tenkaichi 3, honestly, Budokai 3 and Tenkaichi 3, both very,
were
very fun.
phenomenal. Okay. So back to my favorite game when I was 7.
Yeah,
So I would say, because I had just that year gotten my GameCube, I would probably say that one of my favorite games at that time was Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
very good. Very fun.
Very good games.
I played it on PS2 though, not GameCube. Pretty sure.
That's fair. Um, I feel like
Maybe.
it was kind of slept on. There is an HD collection on Steam that I've been considering purchasing.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, my mom's house had the PS2, and
Mhm.
my dad's house had the GameCube. Um, may I go into a fun anecdote?
Sure.
Do you have time? Are you in the mental space
Um,
for this?
yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
So when I got my GameCube, it was probably December of 2001
Hmm.
because I couldn't have been 6 years old. You know what I mean? It must have just come out. My dad had just gotten a 64 because we were super jealous of my cousin's 64, and I think he found one like secondhand because it didn't have. You know how the 64 has the base console, the
Yes.
spot for the games, and then the memory insert.
Yeah.
So mine didn't have the cover for the memory insert, so I feel like he had to have gotten that secondhand.
Okay.
And you know what? Honestly, he was probably so proud of himself for getting that for us because I so badly wanted to play Ocarina of Time all the way through. And like he couldn't afford for us to do that. So when I
Yeah.
got the 64 and we borrowed that game. It was like peak childhood. So Christmas 2001, best story of my life. My dad has like never been like a Christmas guy because we've never really had money to celebrate Christmas. So we were like getting like gloves. We were getting like hats for the
The
winter.
stuff you needed.
This year in particular, there's two Christmases that I like very vividly remember. This one takes the cake though. He gave me a gift with my name on it, and I opened it up, and it was a GameCube controller.
Oh.
And he was like, "That'll work for the system that you have, right? Like the Nintendo 64?" And I was like, "Oh, God, how am I supposed to help this idiot adult understand that this controller is only good for the brand new system that came out?"
Was it the bait and switch?
It was the bait and switch. So like at the end of Christmas,
Nice.
he was like, "Wait a minute, does your controller go to
With
this?"
this?
And pulls out
Whoa!
the GameCube. I swear, every time I think about that, I want to sob. It is such a beautiful moment in my life, getting the GameCube and then staying up until 4 in the morning playing Smash Bros with my sibling, or like Mario Party 4 with my sister.
Yeah.
But like, what a beautiful memory, honestly, that like he had tried so hard and he did such a good job too. He knew
Oh,
that I
yeah.
was going to be like, you
You dummy.
oh no,
You
this is so
moron.
stupid. And now I have to be polite because that's how you raised me.
Yeah. So similar experience actually, but it was for the year the Wii came out. Not as heartfelt given our different backgrounds growing up, but
Sure.
there was a Christmas morning where like the only thing I wanted that year, I was like, you don't have to give me anything else. I just want a Wii. And so Christmas morning, we come downstairs, we're opening up stuff, and we open the last present. No Wii. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Still got all this other stuff. Thanks, Mom, Dad.
Santa
Appreciate
Claus
it.
was probably running out of chips for all the
Oh,
other
yeah.
kids that got Wii's this year.
So my mom was like, Trevor, I forgot there's one more present for your sister upstairs. It's in the bottom of my closet. Can you go get it? And so I was like, yeah, sure. And I ran upstairs and I was digging through the closet and there's nothing in there. I was like, no, you're wrong, you dummy. There's nothing. We
You
opened
dummy.
it.
I love the switch on kids. Like them making, I don't know what it is about parents making kids make kids think parents are dummies.
Yeah. And then
So
like,
good.
gotcha.
Gotcha. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
So I came back downstairs and there's this big cube, bigger than the box that a Wii should come in. And I was like, what's that? And it was wrapped up. Actually, I still have it. It was just one of those like storage cube ottomans kind of situations.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I don't know, maybe you should open it, find out. And so I opened it, and tucked inside of it was a Wii.
There you go.
And my sister was like, they got us twofold. My sister was like, oh, yay, glad you got your Wii. But she was sad that she didn't have like, because my mom was always certain to make sure that we got like an equal number of things.
Well, yeah, but your sister was looking for her Barbie makeup kit because she's a girl.
No. Also, my sister's 5 years older than me, 4 years older than me.
So, Rihanna.
No.
Britney Spears? What year did the Wii come?
2000.
It had to have been like 2005, 2006 because obviously the GameCube came out
I'm
in
gonna say
2001.
2007.
No way, 2006.
All right. Anyways,
We
so
released
I
in
was
November
too.
19th, 2006. So you were pretty close. Go ahead.
So I was too busy over here, like, yeah, I got my Wii, woo! And my mom was like, that's not it. What else is in the box? And I was like, I don't know. And I looked in there thinking that there was going to be more stuff for me because I was greedy. And I looked in and there was like a new digital camera for my sister. And I was like, oh, here's this for you. And I just tossed it at her. Went back to cheering. Yeah, woohoo!
Yeah, but there's like videos of like kids opening their Nintendo 64 in 1997,
Hmm.
you know, and those always make me tear up.
Yeah.
I love the idea of parents loving their children, and I can't wait to one day replicate that.
Oh yeah.
And if I can't, I will force my friends and other family members that have young children to do so, or I
So
will
that
do
you
it for
can
them.
watch.
Yeah.
That was me 30 years ago.
With the GameCube.
I hope that one day someone invents the game sphere just for poops and laughs.
I just saw a TikTok video about it. The Game Sphere was just a stereo.
That would have been a cool stereo.
It was just a regular stereo.
Was it like actually for sale or was it just like,
I think so.
oh. Ooh, another favorite game that I had on GameCube, Sonic Heroes. Gameplay on it, from what I recall, was terrible. Zero gameplay in that. It was just kind of one of those games where you just like go straight forward, jump a couple times, maybe.
Isn't that all 3D Sonic games?
Basically. I want them to be able to make a good sound like well you played what was the one that came out like 2 years ago? Frontiers?
I did play Frontier.
Didn't you kind of enjoyed that, didn't you?
I enjoyed it for a little bit. The problem with Frontiers
Mm-hmm.
is that there's like an EXP system and you like level up. There's like a light RPG element to it.
Okay.
The problem is you can completely max out Sonic's character traits in the first island, and that's of course me as a JRPG fan and like fan of grinding is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I never finished the game because there was nothing else for me to unlock for my character. I
Okay.
was like, oh, I'm gonna be doing the same stuff over and over again. Like, there should have been a way, I think, to like limit how much you could do,
Mm-hmm.
like lock certain lock certain abilities behind like story elements. For the most part though, beautiful soundtrack, really good looking game. Like, and the mini games were super fun because the mini games were very, very like old 3D Sonic, like reminiscent of old 3D Sonic.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Should I play that? Is that worth playing?
It's not worth buying, so if you can get it for a sale.
Yeah, Steam Family Share.
I have it on PS5.
Oh, never mind. Um, another thing, because I'm scrolling down, I am struggling really hard to try and remember what my GameCube library consisted of. So I pulled up a list of just all GameCube games. I've been scrolling down it. And I'm having trouble. Either I had like the most niche tiny GameCube collection because I don't see like anything on here really, or I'm just completely blinded about what I owned on GameCube.
Um, so GameCube games that I remember, three, four, maybe. Mario Party 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was six GameCube? I think six was GameCube.
Four, four, five,
I know
6, and 7 were GameCube.
I, seven, I don't know, but four, I had four. My cousins had five. I don't remember six. Um, so Mario Party,
7 is GameCube.
Zelda,
I'm looking at the list right now.
yeah, Zelda Wind Waker,
Mm-hmm.
but also there was like the Zelda like Master Collection,
Yeah.
which had like a harder like mirrored version of Ocarina of Time, and also my first interaction with Majora's Mask.
So,
Um, Smash Bros. Melee,
mm-hmm.
which came with the GameCube though, so
Came with your GameCube. I don't remember what I got. I think I got Super Mario Sunshine with my GameCube.
I never owned Mario Sunshine. Um, and then there was also Double Dash, but I never owned that because my dad knew that we didn't care about platformers and
Mhm.
racing games. Like
At
he
that
was wise
time.
enough. No, like in general, he was wise enough as a dad, and like he was um observant enough to know that like we liked like action and RPGs. Like he knew that I was his little weeb. So like I had like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah.
And like when I brought my mom's PS2 over to my dad's house, I would play Kingdom Hearts for like 15 hours straight.
So I think just a lot of the games I owned are on the back half of the alphabet because I'm scrolling by a lot of stuff that is now clicking in my head that I had both the Sonic Adventure games, um, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Riders, which was the like hoverboard racing one, which was actually really, really fun. And then one of my favorite, maybe that's kind of overselling it, but I was gonna say just one of my favorite games, the Ultimate Spider-Man game. I had that on GameCube. Loved it. Loved the like cell shaded animation. They did a great job of like making like a comic book into a video game. And it wasn't like the new like cinematic Sony Spider-Man game. It was more along the lines of like they literally took a comic and turned the comic into a video game. The cutscenes are like comic panels integrated with like animations. And I thought that was really, really cool for the storytelling aspect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to go even further retro, have you ever played Comic Zones? Comics
No,
Zone?
no, I haven't. What's that?
That game was really weird. Like you died if you stayed out of the comic for too long or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, that's weird.
It was a Sega game,
Uh huh.
and I think it was a gay awakening for me because I thought the main guy was like attractive because he was wearing shorts. And I was
Yeah.
like, legs.
Legs? Man, I don't think I had very few of like what I would consider to be the big hitters as far as GameCube games because I didn't have Mario Kart, didn't have any of the Mario parties, didn't have Smash Bros. I only really, as far as Mario games go, only owned Sunshine, I'm pretty sure. And at the time, I hated it. I didn't think it was a good game. But I know now it's like one
'Cause there
of
was
the.
no Mario 64.
I never had a 64 either. Yeah. My first system I owned was a GameCube. Quickly followed up. Well, no, Game Boy Color, I guess. But if we're talking
It's
like
not
home
a system.
systems, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
man, I miss those days. You
Same.
know, when PCs weren't as accessible, and then just immediately better than everything else on the market.
Yep. I miss it. I miss when things were like actually more uh competitive and the hype was like way big. Maybe it was just because we were kids too, because
It wasn't
like
even really competitive for me. It was just like wow, did you see that? They have Kingdom Hearts too.
wow. I also really miss actually going into like a GameStop and being like, oh, what do they have? What do they have? But now
Yeah.
GameStop is just like a meme.
Meanwhile, my dad's house was like he had the GameCube because that's what he bought for us. My mom had the PlayStation 2.
Mhm.
And then my dad got an Xbox. So we had Xbox and GameCube. I was always on the GameCube. Like that was like my thing was the GameCube. My sibling and my dad, however, were like super into like the mature theme games that Microsoft had, like Splinter Cell, Quake, Halo, and I was never into like shooters or like guns or anything like that. I was always
Yeah.
more into fantasy and high fantasy. I've never cared for like realism or like war or anything like that.
Yeah, neither have I.
I had a point, but I forgot what it was.
I don't know. But we should circle back to old PC games. Because that was
Okay.
Originally, you asked me what my favorite game was when I was 7 years old, and I did have a small collection of PC games that I also played at that time.
Wow, we went on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. That was actually a nice little rabbit hole to fall down though, because I suddenly remembered a handful of games that I probably haven't thought about in 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Um, but you take the lead on this because you were talking about the PC emulation. I want to hear more about what you've been
To be fair,
interested in.
when I was 7, I had like um we were lucky enough, considering how we like considering how we didn't have anything, we were lucky enough to have like multiple ways to enjoy our time, I guess.
Mhm.
So like because my parents were separated and they got different things at different times. When I was 7, I very much had Kingdom Hearts and Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
You know, Jack and Daxter was a game that my mom had gotten for my sibling for one of their birthdays. But because I didn't play outside because I was a little fat kid, and my sibling was always into like doing flips and stuff. They like ran outside on their birthday, and I was like, "Well, I don't want to play their birthday game. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna play it." And
Yeah,
my mom was
see
like,
ya, dork.
"Okay, go ahead."
All right.
Um, yeah, so I played Jack and Daxter, uh, Kingdom Hearts, and then like at my dad's house, I didn't really have much more than like a Super Nintendo at the time. Before obviously the GameCube thing,
Yeah.
and then when I was at my grandma's house, because I'd go to my grandma's house every day before school, she had a PlayStation 1 and she had computer games. So I was very into the Monsters Inc. Scream Team game.
Nice. Sounds
That
dope.
was super fun. I remember one time I was playing that and I was like making up a little song where I was like, and we're gonna make it and we're gonna do it right. And it was just like me doing
Yeah.
like an anime opening for me playing Monsters Inc. Scream Team. And one of my cousins came over and they caught me and they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm still
Play
embarrassed
Monsters
about
Inc.
that,
Screen
like
Team,
to
get
this.
out.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed about that to this day. But also, she introduced me to Humongous Entertainment Games because she was just like cool with buying like educational games for kids,
Yeah.
just and like letting us on the computer. So
Their
like
education.
I had Final Fantasy Tactics on PlayStation 1 that was at my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
I had Inuyasha, a feudal tale, or a feudal fairy tale or whatever. It
Yeah.
was like a 2D fighter, and I remember her, rest in peace, but I remember her reading me like the dialogue, and I could read, but she was reading it aloud for me. And when I saw the word, "damn," and I was like
No.
pretending like I don't know what this says. I need you to read it to me, Grandma. I have no idea what this says. And I knew that she changed it to censor it for me.
Yeah.
Um, and then like Pajama Sam.
Classic.
Pajama Sam and Putt Putt were huge for me when I was a kid. Loved Pajama Sam. Did you ever play Pajama Sam?
No, I'm familiar with the background of Pajama Sam, but I never played it as a kid. I did
Um,
like you loved it. So you're
it
gonna say?
was it was I was obsessed with Pajama Sam. No need to hide when it's dark outside. Thunder and lightning aren't so frightening. And then my mom got me the third game on PS1 instead of uh computer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. There's an image going around. There's an image somewhere of me, like young me, looking back at a camera.
Yeah. There's an image going around somewhere.
It's going around.
You
I'm
should
gonna
look into that.
text you go ahead and talk about your favorite game. I'm gonna text Megan and ask if she's got the image because I think she does.
So is because Pajama Sam fell in line with like the educational games, yeah.
Yeah, it was humongous entertainment. And I think they had like 2 games that weren't educational, and it was like this really big like violent war game,
What?
and then they had backyard baseball.
Oh, did they do backyard baseball?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Because I was gonna talk about backyard sports for a minute, but not yet.
Yeah,
Because
they did backyard baseball specifically, and I'm pretty sure backyard baseball was the sports game that started the backyard series.
I
Um,
believe you're right. Because backyard baseball came out in '97.
and then man, they did Freddy Fish, Putt Putt, Spy Fox, and Pajama Sam, which were basically all the same game, but with different main characters. And Putt Putt was good, and Spy Fox was cool, and Freddy Fish was all right. But
Yeah,
Pajama Sam, that kid was so cool.
he looks cool. They really tried to
He's got
make
like the
education cool
coolest
there.
hair. Yeah, they did such a good job with Pajama Sam's design. And then what's her name? Pamela Alden?
I don't know.
Bobby Hill?
I don't
Bobby
know.
Hill for the voice. Ashley Spinelli from Recess.
I didn't know she did that too. Okay, nice. But yeah, I never touched the Pajama Sam games as a kid, but as far as education games go, I played a lot of the Jumpstart games,
I
which
don't
were
even know
more.
what that is.
So Pajama Sam, is there ever like a story in that game, or is it just like you open it and it's like a bunch of mini games centered around like a
But
theme?
so the one that I showed you last night, Pajamas
Mhm.
One Stop Fun Shop, that is just like a collection of like artistic crap.
Yeah.
But Pajama Sam 1 through 4 are point and click story adventure games
Okay.
for kids with
So
like educational themes.
So the Jumpstart games, I would say, from what my memory serves, is more education-y centric than Pajama Sam, I think. But it was like, here's a story mode, and the mini games are ingrained into the story mode, and it's just like you play through it, and then either you pass or you fail, and you have to either restart or you move on. But specifically, the one that comes to mind the most for me is, and the games were specifically like split up between grades. It was like Jumpstart, 3rd grade. That's the one I remember the most. Um,
It seems almost too educational
I think
to
they
enjoy.
they packaged it that way, but the story in it, at least at the time, I thought was really, really fun. Let me read you like a small tidbit of the story.
I
Set in
looked it
a
up already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna, yeah, just for the listeners. Set in a retro futuristic universe, the game concerns Polly Spark, the bratty daughter of the world famous inventor Professor Spark, and her attempt to alter history so that her inane answers to a history quiz she failed will be correct. To do this, she sends 25 reprogrammed robots back in time, and with her father conveniently away on a business trip, she takes over Mystery Mountain, the literal mountain mansion where she and her father live. The goal of the game is to help Botley, the robot assigned to keep Polly under control, save the world by retrieving each of the 25 robots and bringing them back to the present.
Is that the 3rd grade one?
Yeah,
Polly Spark. You know, in modern times, Polly Spark would be the polyamorous teenager with blue hair,
probably, yeah.
trying to rip her dad out of the old traditional values of a man and a woman marriage.
I do remember being like, having a very strong hatred for Polly Spark when I would play the game. I'd be like, you so and so, I gotta answer these questions right so that you don't get to mess up the timeline. Who was president in 1942? Like, I don't know, man. Never
Man,
mind, you can have this one, Polly.
just like playing on the pewter as a kid was just something so entirely different from everything
Then
else.
now.
Like I had a Nintendo, I had a GameCube, I had a PlayStation, I play it on the consoles. But when you're a kid and you're in front of this big hulking machine with a separate screen,
Yeah.
and you know, just something so different about what kids get today. With like the iPads and stuff. Because like, yeah,
Oh
kids
yeah.
could play Pajama Sam on an iPad. Like if I had a kid, I have an iPad, and if I had a kid, they would have all the Pajama Sam games at the ready whenever they wanted.
Oh
But
yeah,
it just wouldn't.
absolutely.
It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it doesn't there's something to be said about like accessibility too. Because like if you sit a kid down in front of a Pajama Sam game, depending on the age, they might still be interested. But then like
I'm
if
just waiting for
they're
my kid to tell me Pajama Sam has no Riz.
oh my god. Dude, next timeline. If that happens to me, I'm joining the next timeline.
You
Dude,
know what? I'll
Pajama
do the Steam
Sam.
family share. You do your kids that you take care of.
Pajama
I'll let
Sam
you play
is
the Pajama
so
Sam games.
Ohio, dude.
Oh my god, no Riz.
Zero Riz,
Zero
Pajama Sam.
zero dolphin noises.
I was just gonna say that. Oh man. No, I don't want that to be a thing. Real quick though, while I was looking up the Jumpstart games, because again, as we mentioned earlier, this was the time before screen time in gentle parenting. There is a Jumpstart Babies for literal infants. There is a computer game for infants.
I often wonder, with the way that technology advanced, it could have gone like one of two directions. And I think that we went through the negative path. Whereas, like, if we would have followed technology through the positive path and continued without the educational games,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think that we are too reliant on technology.
Yeah, I think exactly what you're saying. If we had taken the positive path, I think we would be living in that like arrow futurism world. You know, like the futuristic screensavers where like people oh man, what's the best way to describe it? You know what I'm talking about? Like the old screensavers where it was like a big sphere and like very bright greens and blues in the background.
Yeah, I think
Is that
that
called
I think
aerofuturism?
that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
society society in general would be better if we didn't rely so heavily on technology. As much as I love technology, as much as I am like a big loser and all I want to do is spend time on a screen, I
Arrow
think that we would have
Frutiger
been.
is what it is.
Life is just not as cool now.
Yeah, I know. It's all gray and dim and yucky. Oh, this
It was
comes
just
from the aesthetics wiki. It's Arrow
every
Frutiger.
time, every time there's like an advancement in technology that becomes accessible to the average person, I'm like, okay. But back when I was 10 and I could play Star Wars on my Xbox
The
in my living
sky
room,
was
I
the
was
limit.
like this is insane, you know? Like
Yeah, right?
I will never have, I don't think, and obviously I'll probably be proven wrong. But for the most part, I don't think that there will ever be a technological advancement in my lifetime again that
Mm-hmm.
will make me be like, whoa,
No,
this is insane.
I
Whereas,
agree.
like, when I was a kid, just moving from the PlayStation 2 to the Xbox, and I was playing
Xbox.
Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Dead or Alive, and the Dead or Alive girls with all of the junk in their trunk,
Mm-hmm.
seeing all the jiggle physics, and me being like, "This is the
What?
future. This is this is insane." You know what I mean?
This is the future. Sorry,
I
go
was
on.
actually I was actually gay as a young man too, and I didn't realize it. I wasn't actually enamored with Dead or Alive because of the big boobies, but because of the counter system.
Mm-hmm.
If you pressed the counter in the right direction based on where the hitbox was, low, mid, or high, you could counter any attack except for a grab. And I
Heck
thought
yeah.
that was the most innovative and coolest thing that I had ever seen in a video game. Meanwhile, I think my sibling was just good at the game because they played it a lot because they were like,
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I really do feel like the world would be such a better place if we had followed the Frutiger arrow path to the future. It's just such a cool aesthetic. And so I've told you before about my so I've told you in the past about my obsession with old clear technology. That's why I have the oh, what is it? Atomic Purple? Is that what it is? The old Nintendo color scheme?
yeah.
Yeah, I got a Atomic Purple Switch shell and changed out everything myself because I was like, this is just so much cooler. Like,
Man, you're right.
why do
Society
gaming
should have.
mice need to be this? Give me clear plastic with the LEDs.
Do you have the same mouse?
Is yours also wireless?
Yeah, it is. It's just.
Then yes, we most likely do.
Is it the Bachelor's too?
Yeah, nice.
I had to have mine wired because I lost the dongle.
Oh no, just order a new one. Oh wait, that's not how it works, does it? Oh well, it might.
Yeah, dongle's not in there.
Um, but honestly, the world would be so much cooler if just all our tech was still clear.
I don't even think that it would be like still clear. I just don't think that it should be as powerful as it is.
Yeah, I think I think we moved too fast. We didn't get to revel in the the new systems coming out.
We did.
Big hype.
We did, but future generations they're not going to get that.
No, because now it's an expectation. It's like, oh, new year, new
They're
iPhone.
even going, yeah, they're going back into the like the retro technology era. I'm like incredibly stoked for my next phone to be a flip phone.
Yeah.
You have no idea how badly I want that flip phone.
I'm waiting, and we talked about this already, but I'm waiting for another phone with a physical keyboard. I want it really bad. Like if my Galaxy could also just and be a sidekick at the same time. Dude, that was it. Don't I know you agree. Like that was satisfying, you know? When your phone would
my first smartphone was the LG Evo.
Yeah.
And it had like the regular like smartphone exterior.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I could see my face in your phone reflection.
I saw that. Full keyboard when you slid it up sideways.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want in my next phone.
I don't know why we got rid of that.
Because first we were obsessed with making things way smaller, and then we were obsessed with making them as big as possible while still being like carryable, and now we're kind of entering like a middle ground.
I have a Google Pixel 7 right now currently.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode I'll probably have a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 or whatever.
And you can give us your full review at tech.uptilt.tech.
A Google Pixel 7 is too big. I have on my pinky, you can't see it if you're an audio listener, but if you look at my pinkies, you can see a visible calloused bump on my pinkies. Right here. See how it goes up? And how this one is flat? From where I hold my phone like this because it's too big.
Oh. Wait. Oh no. I have a finger dent.
Yeah, mine's not a dent. It's like it's a visibly calloused bump.
Can you see that on my right pinky? This one?
I can. Can you see my
Oh my god, look at it at this angle.
Look at my knuckle. Look at the last
This is
knuckle.
bad.
See how it goes? It goes straight up and then straight.
And
then on this pinky, it's just straight.
Yeah, I'm getting the Tim Robinson. What did they do to us?
They ruined us by giving us incredibly heavy and horrible phones. I thought for the past 4 years that like, I had the newest iPhone, I had the newest Google Pixel, I had the newest phone that you could get. And every
Yeah.
time I'm like, yeah, this is so cool. This is so sick. You know what? Modern phones suck. And I want like fun, gimmicky phones like the Juke or the Chocolate Touch.
Or the Envies. The Envies were sick. Dude, LG's missing out on such a big market by not like look at Samsung. They're putting out folded phones again, which is awesome. And
And
they're
I'm about to
working
pay
on perfecting that
$1,000
tech.
for one.
Yeah. LG is missing out on so much money by not revamping the Envy series. Crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Because Motorola did. Motorola just released
The
the
Razor.
Flip, the Razor.
Yeah.
The Razor Plus is like super huge right now.
Yeah.
The guy that I talked to, I have like a specific guy who works for uh a specific cell phone service, no names, but he uses the Razor Plus, him and his wife,
Yeah.
and they're both enamored with it.
And they
And I'm
love
like,
it.
I want the Samsung because it's like thicker and
Mhm.
it feels more sturdy. Man,
I've played with the Samsung Flips like at Best Buy, like just
you
walking
thinking
past
about
them.
it? You thinking about it?
No, I don't have that kind of money right now, man.
If you had the money, I only owe $300 on my current phone, so I could just pay that off and buy a Flip with a trade-in.
I want to look at a list of like all the cell phones on the market right now because like
They're
I
all
don't
the
know.
same thing. That's why I like the
That's my
Flips and the
problem.
Fold.
That's
It's
my
because they're
problem. There's no variety.
all the phones are the same thing now.
Yeah,
What does this have to do with retro games?
I don't know. We went down a rabbit hole
I
real
love
fast.
Pajama Sam.
We've gone down two rabbit holes, both very strongly avoiding the main topic that was supposed to be this episode.
Guess that means we can just revisit eventually. Who cares?
Hang on. Did you know that there's a Pixel Fold also?
Yeah, but it folds this way.
Is there a
It
physical
folds.
keyboard in there or no? Or is it just dual screens?
No, it's just dual screens. I'm
Don't need
so
that. I
I
don't need
don't
dual
care.
screens.
I don't care about my phone folding horizontally.
Uh-huh.
I guess is this a vertical fold or a horizontal fold? Because the fold is in the vertical position.
That's a vertical fold.
Okay, so the vertical folds that turn your phone from a phone to a tablet, I
Don't
don't
like
care
those.
about.
Don't
I
like
don't care
those.
about. The clamshell, however, with the horizontal crease
Uh-huh.
that fold up and down to make your phone regular size or smaller, that's what I want.
That's great. That's like spy tech right there. You know, like when they pull out a phone and they're like, good, I'll see you later. And they push a button and it goes chick, 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 and folds down into a really tiny square.
Realistically, all I want to do is be like, all right, bye, love you, clack. Or, I can't believe you just said that about my father, clack.
Yeah.
Close it.
Now, I will say, I have seen, this is just turning into like a tech review episode. Have you looked into the Nothing phones before?
The Nothing phones?
Yeah. No?
I don't know what you mean. I said the Nothing phones as a question so you could, like, tell me about it. I
Well,
could just Google it, but
have you heard of the brand Nothing?
no.
Okay, so they're like as oxymoron-ish as it sounds, they're like sorry. They're like a minimalist tech company.
Yeah. I remember when they were like somebody was showcasing that phone that you could like customize with like different chipsets.
Oh
Do you
my
remember that?
god, I forgot about that. I'm pretty sure I was the one that brought that up to you in Vale before.
Where like you could change like the RAM or the camera size or all that stuff.
Yeah, that was
And
what
that I
happened to
don't think
that.
I don't think it ever came out.
It should, because that's such a cool idea. You could actually bring back so much personality to phones by doing that.
Nobody wants to bring personality to phones. They just want the iPhone.
Okay, people that glaze iPhones are still ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, if you're an iPhone stan,
Well, I mean, that's the problem is that the majority of tech users are the average person. The average person is a dolphin noise moron.
yeah. You were talking
And that's
about
why
watching
we
the
like
uncensored.
iPhones still.
You were talking about the uncensored version of UpTilt earlier, and you still keep saying dolphin noise. Or are you just
Yeah,
making it easier for me to know where to put the dolphin noises at?
I want everyone to be able to watch this show, and I feel like if I don't say dolphin noise, I don't want
Yeah.
to say bad words, but I like sometimes I get so passionate, I get so heated. And when I'm heated, I want to say rude words. I'm sorry, but people that follow the most recent Apple release are also the same people that are using that said Apple release to watch Friends
Yeah. Yep.
on Netflix. Like, first of all, Friends is bad. Hulu's where it's at. iPhones are garbage. Like, be for real. Like, take a second to gather a semblance of a personality.
Wow, really taking it to the paint, huh?
I really like genuinely. Genuinely. I don't want to get along with you.
If you like Friends.
I want to get along with everyone. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
I
really
did.
hard for me to like not sound like a jerk when I'm like, man, you like all this basic stuff. I get that basic stuff is popular for a reason, but at the same time, the reason that it is popular is because it appeals to a mass audience, and that mass audience has no taste.
Yeah.
Would I feel the same way if everyone believed the same things that I believe? Probably not. Because the things that I have taste in are objectively better.
Yeah.
Just you guys wait until you hear my Ghibli rant.
Your twice weekly Ghibli rant.
Man, I'm in so much pain.
I'm in so much pain every day.
Get off Facebook. Stop using Twitter.
Dude, I can't. You know what? That's a rant for off air. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole here.
I need people to be more free will thinkers, and I think that's actually a testament to us talking about like new technology and like the way that new technology has kept us connected.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's a lot less personality with the average person.
Yeah.
And
Look at me, for example.
I feel like I really don't want to say that because like people probably think the same thing about me. You know, it's not fair to for me to judge like the quote average person. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. 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 No, I gotcha. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
I definitely feel like a jerk for like calling anybody basic. But at the same time, if you only ingest media and technology that is based on like mass appeal,
Uh-huh.
there's something wrong with that. You should question that.
Yeah. All right. Before
I don't know how
we
to
get
word it. I don't know how to word it. I'm mad at all of you.
okay, I feel pretty good here.
Play Pajama Sam. You'll be a better human for it.
Yes, please. And jumpstart. Go back and do your third grade history lessons, please.
Play Pajama Sam 20 years ago. Okay? And then get back to me.
Step 1, get a time machine. Step 2, don't use it like Polly Sparks. Don't send robots to the past to change the results of your history quiz. Go back in time and actually play Pajama Sam and the Jumpstart games.
Mm, mm, Actually break technology as it advances.
Yes, please.
Unless it's medical.
And please, someone tell someone to continue making clear tech, please. Thanks for
You're the only
watching.
one that wants that.
I know I'm not. Otherwise, companies wouldn't be making the shells for Switches and whatnot. To be clear, still.
Trevor, Mad Cat's #1 fan.
No. Nintendo fan for clear technology.
You know what? We didn't talk about Pokemon once today.
You ruined it. Have a good week, everyone. Goodbye.
See ya.